Hello guys and welcome to the spoilers for chapter 258 of Tokyo Revengers. And so you guys, in the spoilers we got, there were basically 11 different manga panels that got leaked today, and there was no pieces of dialogue. And the title of chapter 258 is called Strange Bedfellows. And the title of this chapter means alliance, so maybe Takemichi will team up with someone in this chapter. On the very first panel that we got in the spoilers, we get to see Mikey, and Mikey is just standing there, and he has a blank expression on his face. We see that Mikey also has some blood on his face, and I think that the blood is probably from Angry, because Mikey was about to fight Angry the last time we saw him. And I think that Mikey is reacting to the train being stopped, and he is wondering what is going on, and that is why he has stopped fighting in this panel. And I wonder what Mikey's reaction will be when he finds out that Kikucho is dead. If Mikey finds out that Sanzu killed Kikucho, I wonder if he will show any reaction, or if he will still not care about anything. Anyway guys, on the next page that we got in the leaks, we see that Sanzu is walking towards Takemichi and Kikucho. We also see Takemichi, and Takemichi is still holding Kikucho's arm with both of his hands. We can also see that Kikucho's pants are drenched with blood. On the next page we see a panel of Mitsuya, and Mitsuya looks very beaten up. Then we see that Mitsuya suddenly noticed something. And then Mitsuya started yelling, and he looks like he is very worried about something. And in this page I think that Mitsuya noticed that Sanzu is trying to kill Takemichi, and I think Mitsuya is trying to warn Takemichi that Sanzu is about to attack him. In the next panel the chapter switches to Takemichi and Kikucho. And Takemichi is grabbing Kikucho's wrist with both of his hands. Then Takemichi just realized that Kikucho is actually dead, and right when Takemichi realized that Kikucho sacrificed his life, Takemichi suddenly put his head down, and he immediately started crying. And so you guys, in the next panel that we got in the spoilers, we see Sanzu and Takemichi. And Sanzu is walking over to where Takemichi is, and Sanzu is also holding his katana in his right hand. Takemichi is so distracted that he doesn't even notice that Sanzu is coming for him. And just as I guessed in my last chapter review, Takemichi and Sanzu are right next to each other, which means they will be fighting in this chapter. In the next panel we see that Sanzu is suddenly in front of Takemichi. We see that Sanzu is just holding his katana with both his hands, and Sanzu is getting ready to swing his katana at Takemichi. We can also see that Takemichi is on his knees, and Takemichi is just staring at Sanzu. Sanzu says that he will kill Takemichi. And it looks like Sanzu is going to try to kill Takemichi, because Sanzu wants to continue his plan, and he wants to start the train again, because he wants to use the train to kill everyone. Anyway guys, on the next panel that we got in the leaks there is a huge reveal. And we see that Taiju Shiba suddenly arrived on the battlefield, and Taiju is just riding his motorcycle, and he is riding towards the train. And we see that Taiju is also wearing the traditional Tokyo Manji gang uniform. And so guys, there is also a chance that this is Kazutora, because there is a chance that Kazutora could have been released from jail early for good behavior. However, I think that this person is way more likely to be Taiju Shiba, because if Kazutora was in jail then they should have forcefully cut off his hair, because in jail they make people shave their hair, and this was seen with Draken in the future timeline when they shaved his head. So if this person is actually Kazutora, then it would not make sense that his hair is long. Anyway guys, on the next panel that we got in the spoilers we see that Sanzu is swinging his katana at Takemichi. And Sanzu is bleeding from his face. However, while he was swinging his katana, Sanzu suddenly noticed that someone showed up behind him. And Sanzu became very surprised, because he did not expect someone else to interfere with his plans. And on the next panel guys, we see that a bike suddenly showed up on the battlefield, and the person who was riding the bike ran over Sanzu, and this resulted in Takemichi being saved by Sanzu. And in the next page we see that the wheel is actually from Taiju's motorcycle, and we also see Takemichi. And Taiju just showed up right next to Takemichi in order to save him from Sanzu. And Taiju just showed up on his bike in order to fight Sanzu, and also to help Takemichi. And if Taiju did not show up to save him, Takemichi would have definitely gotten killed by Sanzu, but Taiju shows up at the perfect moment to save him. In the next page we see Takemichi, and Takemichi is just realizing that Taiju Shiba has arrived on the battlefield. And when Takemichi saw that Taiju came to the battle, Takemichi had tears in his eyes, and he also had a very surprised look on his face. On this page, we also see Taiju Shiba, however we can only see the back of his head. And it is confirmed that it actually is Taiju, because we get a good look at his haircut, and his hair looks exactly like Taiju's hair. In the last page that we got in the spoilers, we see Mikey, and we also see multiple members from both gangs. The members from both gangs look very tired. And we see that Mikey is yelling in this page, and it looks like he is giving orders to his gang, however since there is no dialogue we cannot see what he is saying. And I think that the members of Kanto Manji gang have just noticed that the train almost killed them, and I think Mikey is ordering them to stop standing around, and he is also ordering them to fight. And so guys, at first I was thinking that it would not make sense that Taiju has a Toman uniform, however the author of Tokyo Revengers revealed that Taiju and Mitsuya are actually friends, and after the Christmas conflict they have hung out with each other many times. And he showed us this drawing of them hanging out and eating ice cream together. And we know that Mitsuya is the one that makes the uniforms for Toman, so it would make sense if Mitsuya is the one that gave the uniform to Taiju. And I also think that Mitsuya is the one that invited Taiju to come to the fight, and since Taiju showed up I really hope that we get to see Yuzawa Shiba show up too. Because Yuzawa is a very strong fighter, for example she was even able to knock down Inupi with one of her flying kicks, and Toman could definitely use her strength in this battle. Now that Taiju hit Sanzu with his bike, I wonder who Taiju will fight next. It would be a very bad idea for him to fight Mikey, so I hope that we get to see him fight against Shuji Hanma. They off-screened the fight of Hanma versus the Toman members, so I hope that we actually get to see him fight during this battle. I also want to see how the executives of the Kanto Manji gang react when they find out that Kikucho has been killed by Sanzu. I think that the S62 generation members will definitely want to kill Sanzu for revenge, and they will also betray Mikey. I say this because the S62 generation members have a lot of respect for Kikucho. And right now Sanzu wants to kill Takemichi before he can tell anyone else about his evil plan, however Taiju came in at the last second to save Takemichi. So now Takemichi will have a chance to tell more people about Sanzu's plan. Anyway guys, that was all we got for the spoilers of chapter 258 of Tokyo Revengers. Also let me know what you guys think of the spoilers in the comments below. And like, comment and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one, and thank you for watching.